Welcome to The Worthy Woman, a podcast for the intuitive, ambitious woman who's ready to regulate her nervous system, reconnect with her body, and rise to the next level of success, health, and purpose. I'm your host, Jo, manual osteopath, holistic coach, and nervous system guide, here to walk with you as you heal from the inside out and create a life and a business that actually feels good. On this podcast, we explore the connection between your body, emotions, subconscious patterns, and your ability to lead, create, and live from your worth. Let's get into today's episode. Welcome back to another episode of The Worthy Woman. My name is Johanna. If you're new here, welcome. If you are used to being here, welcome back. And today we're talking about being the frequency for what you desire in your business. And this is a little bit of a different lens than maybe what you're used to hearing me talk about. But this is a kind of spiritual and physiological way to look at how we create our business, how we show up in our business, how we create the business and the life that we really desire to have. And so I want to kind of walk through this with you. And it's been coming up a lot over the last couple months about how I keep my spiritual side of myself kind of quiet. And I think some of that comes from the fact that I sometimes feel nervous. Are people going to think I'm weird or crazy? Or, it's just that like element of rejection and shame. And I feel like there's been a lot, it's getting a little better, but it's like there's been a lot of like, oh, well, if you don't have the proof or the science aspect behind things, then it's like, it's not real. You know what I mean? I'm very open-minded. I'm very open to different possibilities, different ways of looking at things, and I'm not so rigid in my views. And so I very much believe in intuition, and I very much believe in energy. Obviously, I'm trained in Reiki, and I'm actually going through a mediumship course now. So like, there's things that I'm very interested in, and I'm in my own journey spiritually. But it very much ties into my belief of business, my belief on the world. And I've been hiding that part of myself. And I wanted to kind of start tying that into the things that I talk about. Now, as much as I believe in the woo-woo side of things, the kind of the more energetic, spiritual side of things, I also feel like there is an element of practicality that we do need to have in our life and our business. And so for me, it's about balance. It's like you can't have one without the other. We need to have this nuance and know when and where to kind of use these different perspectives, because we don't want it to be too up in the clouds, but we also don't want to be so materialistic that like the spiritual piece doesn't exist for us. So I wanted to talk about how to be the frequency to manifest, to attract what you desire in your business. And the nervous system is actually the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. And so we're going to kind of talk about that in this episode and kind of dive into how the nervous system can be that missing piece, and maybe why you haven't necessarily got to where you're trying to go to. Because I know this has shown up in my life for sure. And this is like something that I'm currently navigating and working through in my life right now. And I think this never really goes away because we're always trying to reach, more goals, bigger desires, right? Like things, the bar kind of keeps changing, right? Once we hit a certain level, typically there's more that we want. We want to see more growth. We want to evolve more, right? So typically how we have either been taught or how we are approaching business is that a lot of us have been in the overworking, hustling, overthinking, chasing results, right? Like a lot of us have been in this like go, this hustle. And the problem, like I've stated many times before, is that our body and our nervous system is dysregulated, and it's communicating danger to us, right? Because this feels like this overworking, hustling, overthinking, chasing results, it's all very sympathetic driven. So it's in that fight or flight type of energy, right? But then we get stuck in it and we don't ever come out of it, right? So the body is constantly in this like your business is dangerous, right? Like your business is like, oh no, we can't keep doing this because like we got to run away, right? So a lot of us are trying to like do our way into success. We're trying to do things and take action. But while we're doing that, because we do need to take action, but while we're doing that, the energy that we're holding says, I'm not actually safe to receive this, right? So when we're taking action and being very, we'll say masculine in our energy, very structured, very like go, 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 and like doing, those things aren't inherently bad. But at the same time, we have to have the energy and the belief that is also open to receive, which is more of the feminine, which is more of the parasympathetic nervous system, right? And so when we don't have the energy of receptivity, we actually then start to enter stress, burnout, procrastination, second guessing, overanalysis, right? Like we end up in these, we'll say negative loops that we just can't seem to get out of, or it's like stunting our growth, right? Or prevents us from hitting our goal, hitting the desire that we have, our manifestation that we want to have, right? And so I've been noticing this in my life. It's like, okay, well, why do I keep hitting these same plateaus in my life? Like why in my business, right? Like why do I keep hitting this same spot and I can't ever get above it? And so I'm like, I need to work with my nervous system. And that's what I've been doing. I've been doing that for a very long time, but now I'm really specifically looking at it from a business lens instead of just my everyday life, even though it's all kind of intertwined, right? So our frequency and how we show up in our business is the energy that we're essentially broadcasting, whether we know that or not, like consciously or unconsciously, right? And this is more than just like thinking positively. It's more about how your body actually feels and what it signals out into the world. So we can't attract or embody what doesn't feel safe or possible at our nervous system level, right? So we have to help our nervous systems understand that it's safe. This is why the nervous system work is so important while we're taking the actions that we need to take in our business, right? And so our energy has to match the actions that we're taking to fully manifest. A lot of people are doing the right things. They have strategies that work, but the strategies and the things that they're doing might not look like they're working because the energy that they're showing up to it with doesn't match. And so you're not a vibrational match for where you're actually trying to go. That could even just look like you're taking the action to post and make, like, you know, sell stuff and whatever, but the belief isn't behind it. Maybe you don't actually think you can make sales. Maybe you're afraid of putting your content out there because you're afraid of being rejected or people talking about you or whatever. Or maybe you're watering down what you're saying because you're afraid of rejection, what people might think, what people might say, right? And so these things work together. And this is why your strategy only works when your nervous system is on board, right? It's not really about the strategy. You have to have a strategy, but I think there's a lot of strategies out there that work. And it's a matter of, one, finding what works for you and what's actually realistic for your energy levels. And two, it's also having the right, again, nervous system state, mindset, belief system, energy going into that strategy to actually even believe that it's possible to work for you. And so when we are in this high frequency, we're regulated, we're confident, we're receptive, we're magnetic, things come easier, right? Like we're not forcing things, right? We're taking actions and the results are kind of aligning with those actions, right? We might have to tweak things here and there, but for the most part, things are moving in a smooth direction. When we're in this low frequency, we are more so acting from a fear-based place, right? So there's scarcity. There's not enough people. I don't have enough people. I don't have enough followers. I'm not getting enough views. There's overworking. There's overcompensating. There's second guessing ourselves, right? Doubting the ability to even make the sales, to have the business growth, you're questioning like, where are these people, these numbers going to come from, right? And so again, it's not about just the mindset, but it's about how your nervous system lives in your body every single day, right? So we really want to focus on the regulation piece to get the body and the physical changes so our energy changes. Our energy feels more open, more, again, receptive. When I work with people, more hands-on, like when I'm doing like Reiki or my osteopathy, some people's energies feel very constricted, and we hold our shadow aspects, our limiting beliefs, the blocks, we hold those in our body and our energy field. And when we are dysregulated, those things just become exacerbated, right? Like we can't actually settle enough to open ourselves up to what is possible, right? And that shows up in not only just our energy, but also our mindset around things. Like, you know, when you're more stressed, you have a more limited mindset, right? Like if you've ever looked at like, okay, when I'm like mentally spiraling, a lot of times your nervous system, right, with that is very dysregulated, or vice versa, right? Like if you feel very dysregulated, feel very anxious, your mindset usually is not great at that same time, right? And so this nervous system is the bridge. The nervous system is the bridge between the energy and the physiology, and also the manifestation, right? It is the nervous system is the how behind the energetic frequency. So if you want to change your energetic frequency and how you're showing up and what you're available for and what you're magnetizing towards yourself, especially if it's something that you've never experienced before, you need to work with your nervous system, because our nervous system determines how we experience risk, visibility, and abundance, right? Like it's literally how we show up in the world, or how comfortable we feel showing up in the world. And when we're dysregulated, we block our manifestations at a physical and energetic level. So we're literally not allowing the manifestation to come through because we're dysregulated, because it's blocking us. It's not opening us up. When we're regulated, we have this readiness to receive, we're ready to expand, we're able to expand, and we can have the capacity to hold higher results, different results. So when your nervous system feels safe, your energy actually naturally rises to match the opportunities, the partnerships, and the results that you're trying to call in. And so this is often what's missing in the kind of business world, is that there's so much around marketing and strategy, and those are absolutely important, but they're not the only thing. We're missing like the other half, right? And it's also why some manifestation stuff doesn't really work, because people aren't incorporating the body piece, because it's not just about your mind, it's about how you genuinely feel in your body. And we can make those changes through working with the nervous system, right? So you're going to feel, when your frequency is aligned, when it's high, when it's open, it is going to feel like having confidence, stepping into new opportunities. It's going to feel like expansion and ease without having to like force all of your results, right? You're going to experience flow, and that where like opportunities and experiences and clients and money just shows up organically, right? So imagine you get to like wake up and walk into your business feeling fully aligned, safe to expand, and magnetic, and you're connected to the opportunities that are meant for you. Like imagine what that could feel like if you had full-on trust and full-on belief in what is possible for yourself. And it's normal for these things to waver, but that's why nervous system tools and practices daily and checking in with yourself daily is important, because you can kind of check yourself, you can clock yourself of like, okay, where am I at right now on my belief? Where's my frequency at? Where's my nervous system at? Right? And if it's kind of dipping, that's when we know, okay, we want to bring more of our tools, more of our support into our day to kind of help bring us back up, along with obviously working through like subconscious blocks, limiting beliefs, emotions, all that kind of stuff that comes up during those processes, right? But it's really hard to reflect when we're not regulated. So it gets hard to see where we're kind of getting hung up when we're so dysregulated and coming from a place of scarcity and lack and fear and worry about, and almost like trying to control how this manifestation shows up, right? So I want you to kind of notice like when you're starting to contract, or you feel stuck, or you feel limited, or like maybe you're overdoing things versus like when you're expanded and receptive, right? Because your energy is communicating with the world at all times, whether you realize it or not. And our success and our results aren't just about effort, they're about the state of which you're being. And especially as women, so much of our magnetism in business and in life comes from who we be, not what we do. So if we can shift the state of our being and carry that into our work and carry that into our business, you are naturally going to attract the right people, the right clients, the right amounts of money, the right experiences to help you grow. And then you'll have to do some nervous system work to help you grow, right? Like to expand further into that. And this is why when I work with women, I go with the nervous system. I look at, okay, what is happening in the nervous system? How are we showing up? What's the mindset? What's the beliefs? What's the physical body doing? Because that's where the shift is actually going to happen. So being the frequency for what you desire is not about more strategy or hustle or doing more. It's not that you're not doing enough. It's about regulating your nervous system so that you and your energy naturally match the results, abundance, and impact that you're ready to receive and create. So reflect on this. Maybe journal, explore, working with, like yourself to see where you're at, what's kind of your baseline. And if this is something that you're struggling with, feel free to reach out to me. I have Reiki sessions, and if you're local, I can do osteopathic sessions with you, but Reiki sessions I can do distantly. So even if you're not living in the city in the country that I'm in, we can still work on those things together. And as well, I'm going to be opening up something soon in the month of November here coming up. So stay tuned for that, because that is going to be a beautiful container to help you work through this energy, right? It's going to help you feel aligned with your vision, your offers, your audience. It's going to normalize consistent sales and results without the chaos and the stress. You're going to get to be the entrepreneur who confidently calls in clients and opportunities, and have a business that grows while you feel calm and you feel empowered and you feel fully in control of yourself, right? If this is something that is hitting your gut, it's something that you know is for you, and you know this is something that sounds like you and this is something you want to work on, feel free to DM me on Instagram. We can chat. I'll give you the details early, but this will be coming in November, so stay tuned for that. I also forgot to mention last week that I recently launched Reset Your Hustle. It is a free podcast series. So it's separate from this podcast. It's a whole separate podcast series. It's 6 episodes. And so if you're wanting to learn how to reset your nervous system, reset your hustle, and you're curious about this kind of stuff, I will link that in the show notes. It is free. Just need to exchange your email basically, but you'll have access to that podcast, and you can listen to all 6 of them all in a row. They're not long. They're I think the longest one is 22 minutes or something. But it really goes into how your nervous system's affecting you, how it's showing up for you, what you can start to do, what you can start to look at. And so it kind of gives you a little bit more structure. So if you're interested in that and you're wanting to look at that, then that is a great place to kind of start. But if you're curious on actually working with me, feel free to DM me on Instagram. We can have a chat. We can see if it's something that fits for you, and we can go from there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Let me know if you want to get more into the energetics, the kind of woo-woo side of things, because it does light me up and I do get very excited about it. And I think there's just, for me, been my own block that I've been navigating and working through, but I'm getting more and more comfortable sharing it and embracing it. So I hope you guys are loving it and are on the ride and the journey with me. So let me know. Again, you guys could feel free to message me on Instagram, or if you're listening to this on YouTube, you can leave a comment or something like that. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day. thank you as always for being here. And I will see you next week for our episode in November, which is freaking crazy that we are already at that point. I don't know where time is going. Like, the fact that we have 2 months left of the year is absolutely crazy to me. So I hope you guys are enjoying it because it's going by fast. So I will see you guys next week. I hope you have a wonderful week.